Coco Gauff now holds 2 records against Iga Swiatek that no other WTA star has managed. Coco Gauff stormed to a scintillating straight sets victory against Iga Swiatek at the United Cup. Gauff and Swiatek met for the 16th time on the WTA Tour, but the American was far and away the better player in Sydney. The American raced to a 6-4, 6-2 victory to earn her 4th straight win against Swiatek to bring their head-to-head record to 11-5 in the polls' favor. Despite her negative head-to-head record, Gauff has proved she has got Swiatek's number in their recent meetings, and she now holds 2 records over the star that no other player on the WTA Tour has managed. Coco Gauff's records over Iga Swiatek after United Cup victory. Gauff has won her last 4 meetings against Swiatek now, which includes victories in 2024 in Madrid and the WTA Finals, as well as at last year's United Cup. Her win at this year's United Cup means Gauff has become the first player to beat Swiatek 4 times in a row without dropping a set. The American has won 8 consecutive sets against the world number 2, which is another WTA Tour record that no other player has managed. Despite Gauff's incredible win against Swiatek, Poland were still about to defeat the United States to earn their place in the United Cup final. Hubert Hurkacz's victory against Taylor Fritz and Katarzyna Kawa and Jan Zielinski's mixed doubles win against Gauff and Christian Harrison made the difference for Poland. They will play a Switzerland team made up of Stan Wawrinka and Belinda Bencic in the final after they beat Belgium. Only one other player has beaten Iga Swiatek 4 times in a row on the WTA Tour. Swiatek has been dominant on the WTA Tour, but Gauff is not the only player to notch 4 straight wins against the star. Yelena Ostapenko, who has been Swiatek's kryptonite over the years, has also managed the impressive feat. Ostapenko has won all 6 of her meetings with Swiatek on the WTA Tour, which include victories at the US Open and Indian Wells. Their last meeting at the Stuttgart Open in 2025 even saw Ostapenko topple Swiatek on clay for the very first time. Ostapenko has beaten Swiatek on all 3 surfaces, with her sole grass win coming in Birmingham in 2019. Sparkles Coco Gauff, the rising star who rewrote the rivalry script. At just 21 years old, Coco Gauff has matured into one of the most compelling figures on the WTA Tour, not merely because of her astonishing physical talents, but because of her fearless competitive spirit and tactical intelligence. Over the past couple of seasons, she's gone from an exciting young talent to a serious contender in elite company. A defining thread of that evolution has been her landmark head-to-head encounters with one of the sport's most dominant champions, Iga Swiatek. Their rivalry at first appeared lopsided. Swiatek, a multi-Grand Slam winner and former world number 1, had overwhelmed Gauff in early meetings. But the dynamic has shifted in recent months, and Gauff has carved out 2 remarkable achievements against Swiatek that no other current WTA player has matched. Trophy record number 1. First player to beat Swiatek in 4 straight matches in straight sets. Let's start with perhaps the most headline-grabbing fact. Coco Gauff is the first player ever to defeat Iga Swiatek in 4 consecutive matches, and each time in straight sets. Before this stretch, Swiatek held a commanding advantage in their rivalry, a situation familiar to many great players early in their careers as they learn to match wits with the very best. In fact, Swiatek had a dominant 11-1 lead in their head-to-head at one point, illustrating just how challenging she was to defeat. But Gauff changed that narrative. In 2023 and 2024, she began stringing wins together that hinted at a tactical breakthrough. And culminating in early 2026 at the United Cup semifinal in Sydney, Gauff achieved her 4th straight victory over Swiatek, all in straight sets, a feat no other WTA player has ever accomplished. To put this in perspective, other players may have beaten Swiatek 4 times in a row, but none have done so without dropping a single set in that run until now. This speaks to something deeper than surface results. It reflects strategic evolution, mental toughness, and adaptability, hallmarks of a true champion. Trophy record number 2, most consecutive sets won against Swiatek. Closely tied to the first record is an equally striking statistic. Gauff has now won 8 straight sets against Swiatek across those 4 matches, another benchmark that no active WTA player has tied. Why is this notable? In elite competition, especially against a top-level player like Swiatek, known for her variety, court coverage, and relentless pressure, even splitting sets with her is an achievement. Winning every set over 4 meetings suggests more than temporary form. It signals a psychological edge and a tactical blueprint that counters Swiatek's strengths. This 8-set streak is a new high watermark in their rivalry, one that reflects not just victories, but dominance within those matches. Magnifying glass tilted left. What changed? A turning point in the rivalry. To understand the full significance, we must rewind a bit. In the early phase of their rivalry, Swiatek frequently got the better of Gauff in major matches, using her heavy topspin, tactical variety, and powerful ground strokes to control rallies. But as Gauff gained experience, refining her serve, sharpening her return game, and developing a more assertive mindset, things began to shift. Key turning points include tactical bravery. Gauff began to take the initiative in rallies more often, stepping into her shots, flattening out returns, and using her athleticism to transition forward. Mental confidence. Having beaten Swiatek for the first time at big events like Cincinnati and the WTA finals, Gauff built a belief that she could not just compete with the best, she could beat them consistently. Consistency across surfaces. Whether on hard courts, clay, or indoors, Gauff's game adapted, a testament to her all-around development. These elements combined to create the perfect storm. A player not just capable of beating a great one time, but doing so repeatedly and emphatically. Performing arts. Why these records matter. While statistics are exciting on their own, what makes these records compelling is what they suggest about Gauff's trajectory in women's tennis. 1. A sign of maturity. Gauff is no longer intimidated by Swiatek's pedigree. She competes, schemes, and executes with the poise of a veteran, even though she is still young. 2. A rivalry evolving. Great rivalries in sports don't remain static. They ebb and flow as players develop. This recent run suggests Gauff has shifted the dynamics with Swiatek, at least for now. Such shifts often herald deeper battles in future Grand Slams and elite events. 3. A broader message to the tour. For other players on the WTA Tour, Gauff's achievements send a message. Elite consistency and opportunistic aggression can disrupt even dominant champions. Bar chart. Looking at the bigger picture, beyond just Swiatek. While these 2 records are remarkable, they dovetail with Gauff's broader ascent. Grand Slam breakthroughs. Gauff has captured major titles and shown the ability to go deep in the biggest tournaments, a hallmark of her status among the top tier of the women's game. For example, she won the 2024 WTA Finals and the 2025 French Open, where she showed impressive resilience and courtcraft.